¿También se le echa Valenzuela?
No, esto es para otra cena que les voy a hacer. Vas a tener un private chef next week, para que sepas, ¿eh?
Está bueno.
Sí,
Hasta que voy a descansar.
Welcome to a week in my life as a private chef. Today was my first day on the job and I was nervous to say the least, so I wanted to start off with something simple. I knew that one of my clients loved breaded chicken, so I decided to play off of that, and I made a Greek salad with balsamic dressing and added crispy chicken on top. In order to be as efficient as I possibly could, I went ahead and mixed all of my spices with the breadcrumbs. I mixed the eggs with the flour, and then once it's all coated, I will transfer it over to the pan to fry. Usually I like to cook it for about 6 minutes on each side, depending on how crispy it gets. And while that's cooking, I'm moving over to my salad. So I'm cutting up some cucumber today. As you can see here, I definitely went to culinary school and this is the best way to cut up cucumber. Just kidding. This is much faster. So once I cut up all my cucumbers, I straight on my cherry tomatoes. One of my clients actually specifically requested that I cook the veggies because she does not like the texture of the raw veggies. And this time I sauteed them, but next time I would rather roast them in the oven. That way they don't get as soft as they do when you saute them. I love watching the private chef TikToks. I just think that they're so fun. And I thought, why not do that myself and pretend that I'm a private chef and that I was hired by a random family to go to their house and cook. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is gonna be a build your own salad basically. We have the chicken. I have more chicken over there for them. This is just mine. We have some feta cheese, the dressing. We have the roasted cucumbers, tomatoes. We have the pitted kalamata olives. I don't know why I keep blanking on what that's called. And we have some onion. And now it is time to put it all together. So we're gonna throw in a little bit of arugula here. I'm gonna do some of the kalamata olives. We're gonna throw in some of these cucumbers. And then we're gonna take some of this feta cheese and throw some on top. And voila, this is what my salad is looking like. I'm about to put some of the dressing on top. All right, dinner is fully served. We're gonna give everything a good little mix. So of course I have to try the dish that I made for my clients. My clients are real, as you can hear them in the background. My chicken, bomb, as always. I have to say, I mean, tooting my own horn. But it's always so good. We have like the vinegary taste from the olives, which is very interesting. And then we've got the saucy taste from the cherry tomatoes. The arugula and the cucumber are very refreshing. And then we have the cheesy taste from the feta cheese. I think that this is actually a really good salad. It tastes pretty good. Welcome to a full day in my life as a private chef. I normally start off my mornings with a bit of a workout so that I can be here for myself, show up for myself, because I spend a lot of my time serving other people. After I work out, I'll usually make myself a delicious breakfast. This way I can sustain myself through my 9-to-5 side hustle, because chefing in this economy, that doesn't pay the bills. And in order to transition from my 9-to-5 side hustle to my private chef gig, I like to go for a quick walk, and this way I'm in the best headspace. Hello, welcome to the next day. So we are currently watching the Dodger game here in the background, and I'm gonna be cooking up a Philly cheesesteak pasta today. Basically, think of it as just like steak mixed in with pasta alfredo, but we're gonna add in some bell peppers as well. So, you know, it's not anything too extravagant, but This was actually requested by my client because she loves Philly cheesesteaks, and she came across this on Facebook and she was like, I want that. You need to make it for me. And I was like, okay.
So we are starting off by heating up the water and then dropping in the pasta, then cutting up the meat, adding in the seasonings, mixing that all together, and then getting ready to cook that.
So my client bought some vegetables online, and this is what we got for the bell peppers.
You know what?
This tiny ass little red one.
They at least gave us a free spam.
Did they?
Yeah. I ordered 4. They gave me 5. Hey, freebies are freebies, I guess. Are you kidding me?
What?
The onions too.
That's why you can't really buy them online because they just pick whatever.
Yeah. I mean, come on. If you go grocery shopping, are you gonna pick those?
No.
Exactly. I think these people
That
just
is the
get
work
lazy.
of a man. And then the same pan that I heat the meat up in, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the veggies as well. So we've got some onion, green peppers, red peppers, and yellow bell peppers. Now we're gonna start making the Alfredo sauce on top of it. So we're gonna drop in the butter. We're gonna do some minced garlic. So just a little bit of it for flavoring. I said to do 4 cloves, but we have them already chopped. So that's just my assumption of what 4 cloves would be. We don't want it to be too extremely garlicky because then you could always mess it up if you put too much. You can always add more, but you can't take away once you've already cooked. All right, and we're gonna cook that for about a minute just so we can get some flavoring until we can smell the garlic. And then we're gonna do a cup of the heavy cream. I love seeing sauce thicken up the entire time when you're cooking it. It almost feels like it's not going to thicken up and you're like, wait a second, did I forget to do something? But then it starts thickening up and you're like, okay, it's coming together. All right, we're gonna add the pasta. I always think it's so funny whenever my pasta does that. Since it is a little too thick and I threw away my pasta water, I am so sad that I did that. I am gonna go in and add just a little bit of chicken broth and use that to loosen it up. See, we're gonna add the meat. So I'm gonna add it slowly because I don't know if it's too much. Okay, time to serve. So I'm going to take some of the noodles first. One of my favorite things is being able to put together the final presentation of my meal. It's almost like putting together artwork, and something I've realized recently is that cooking is a form of creativity. I know that oftentimes we don't think of it because it's something that seems like a hassle and we don't really want to do it most of the time, or we're too lazy to do it. So it's not something you think of doing for fun, which is something you associate creativity with. But now that I love cooking, it's just so fun to put it together. So sometimes I'll do things like this, where I'll take my time to pick out the veggies and make it look good. Okay, and to dress it up a little more, we're gonna add just a little bit more Parmesan on top and some parsley flakes. And not only does it look cute, but it just makes me feel good that I put something like this together. So I love cooking now for the very reason that, one, I'm learning a new skill with cooking. I'm trying new recipes. I'm expanding my food intake, like what I eat. I'm not just eating the normal things that I would eat all the time, or fast foods, or just quick microwave foods. I'm taking the time to actually nourish myself and create something that I'm gonna love, and then being able to put it together like this in the end. Just, it's so fun. And of course, the best part is being able to taste it after I've spent time putting it together. Also, you're able to just kind of add your own spin on things sometimes, which I always find fun, because a lot of the times the recipes I come across don't actually give you step-by-step guides, so I just kind of have to guess. And it's fun to just see it all come together and then trying it at the end. That's so good. I love it. Honestly, I oftentimes now prefer cooking something at home. I know that I have become a woman because I now am like, we can go eat at Olive Garden, or we have Olive Garden at home and I can make it for you. Honestly, most of the time when I'm cooking, I'm just kind of guesstimating. Like, I'm just having fun with it, and I just let the spirits of my ancestors tell me, yeah, mija, that's enough. And then that's when I'll stop putting things in. And honestly, it works, because if I do say so myself, I'm a pretty good chef.
You good?
Client, oh, it's so good. I apologize, I was a little hangry. Please don't fire me. I have 2 kids and a family, and I can't afford to lose this job.
Why? What the hell?
Because I was yelling at you. My camera died. We are on my phone. We are going to go ahead and fry up the veggies a little bit. Look at how beautiful this color palette is.
My clients love chicken, as you can tell by all of these recipes. So today I'm making my client a chicken stir fry with ramen, and here I am just sauteing the veggies.
Time to add the teriyaki sauce. So in the picture, she uses this thing called soyaki, which I don't know if it's just a Trader Joe's exclusive thing or a soyaki exists, but I'm assuming it's just teriyaki. So we're gonna use this one because this is the only one we have. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the ramen. Did any of you guys eat ramen when you were little? Dry? We used to do that all the time. Not specifically with this one, but with the Maruchan ones. Just breaking apart the noodles. So today I'm cooking up something fun, something fancy for my clients. So I decided to cook them a creamy lemon chicken orzo, which actually sounds so good. Drizzle some olive oil on top here. And then the not so fun part, but we're gonna massage it. Make sure that the chicken is evenly coated. This has been something therapeutic to come home to every single day. And I enjoy it, but it is very, very time consuming. Like, it takes up most of my afternoon. So I have been considering this part of my 75 hard. As you guys know, I've been doing the 75 hard outside of my 9-to-5 side hustle, and then outside of my full-time private chef job. I've been focusing on doing the 75 hard, and I've been very consistent with it. And might I add that coming home after having a busy day at work and going for a walk, and then on top of that, getting back home and cooking has been so therapeutic. Also, I throw everyone out of the kitchen. I'm like, you guys need to get out so that I can enjoy my time cooking, because I just like to be in the silence. And I was gonna cook on that pan, but I'm gonna pull out this big boy because it'll help me to cook more of the chicken at once, and That way it doesn't take as long. But anyways, earlier this week, I actually set a goal to focus a little bit more on my creative hobbies. And I was thinking about how I came up with the idea to pretend to be a private chef for a week. And I started to think about how I wasn't gonna have time to do my hobbies if I was gonna do this, but then at the same time, cooking is my hobby, and cooking is a creative hobby, because we oftentimes don't think that it is a creative hobby, but it definitely is. If you think about it, the pan is your canvas, the oil is the primer, the stove is my easel, this is my brush, this is my palette, this is the paint, and we are creating art. And I almost forgot to put on my apron. How could you guys not tell me? I also like to cover my meats while they cook because I feel like it'll really soak in all of the flavor that I've added. My point was that I was really focused on the fact that, oh, I'm not gonna have enough time to actually fuel my creative side, because I was thinking like, oh, creativity, I gotta paint, I gotta do my diamond paintings, maybe coloring or something, but the entire time I was doing something creative. And I realized that afterwards that there are so many different ways to be creative that we don't even think about, like sometimes even just daily tasks like cooking or organizing your room and just like rearranging your furniture. That's kind of like also low-key being an interior designer. Obviously not with the credentials, but you can pretend to be an interior designer and just switch things up in your room and have a little fun with it. So this entire week I've been going for the walks, which are therapeutic on their own, because it's nice to just be outside, feel the breeze, feel the sun, move my body, and then coming home, having the time to cook, and that's fun. And then putting it together at the end, and then hearing the reactions from my clients about if the food tasted good or not. And so far I've gotten good reviews for all of them, so that makes me happy. And I've just been enjoying that, and it's been very peaceful. It's been a good little routine after work, and I've been enjoying it. And the 75 hard, I've literally been slaying it. Like every morning I'm waking up at 5 a.m. Even if I'm tired, like the alarm will go off and I will dread it. I'll be like, ugh, maybe I should sleep more today. I'm like, no, you're tired today, you're gonna be tired tomorrow, you're gonna keep making those excuses. Even if you're not physically tired, you just want to keep sleeping more. Tomorrow you're gonna make the same excuse. Later today you're gonna make the same excuse. Excuses after excuses will never get you anywhere. And you know, there's a difference between allowing yourself to rest and then giving yourself too much rest when you don't actually need that rest. And I feel like you kind of know your own routine. I need to flip my chicken 1 second. I also added a little bit of this extra sazon. This sazon is the best. Sazon completa will make your chicken next level. I love it. I forgot to add it earlier, but I'm just adding it on top. Like, I've been there where I was just so lazy that I would never work out. I would dread it. And I remember literally making excuses about not getting a workout in today. I remember making excuses about how I'm so tired. And yeah, at first I was really tired, because I mean, you have to think about it. You're going from maybe no workouts to working out. Your body is obviously going to take some time to adjust. But if you do like a day of workout and then that tired you out, then the next day you're like, I need a rest. Then you rest, and then the next day after that you're like, I'm still tired, let me rest again, and then you rest, and then the next day you kind of get comfortable with the last 2 days of rest, and then you just keep resting, and then you give up on your goals. I know, because I've been there. I needed somebody to call me out for doing that, but nobody ever did, until I finally realized it once I actually kept up with it. Even though I was tired, I kept going, right? The first day I did it, I was tired. Second day, I was tired, but I still did it. The third day, I was still tired, but I still did it. And as I kept doing it, I started showing up for myself more consistently, because I wanted to. Despite being tired, I still kept going. And then eventually I got to the point where I enjoyed it, and I found ways to make it more enjoyable for myself. I'm living proof, tooting my own horn, that even if you're tired, even if you're lazy, you can change your life. You can. Because if you even just knew me from back in the day when I was in high school and college, I was so lazy and I would never work out. And I hated the way that I looked, but I never did anything about it. I wanted to try doing things about it, but I never actually was consistent with anything until I finally made the decision that I wanted to change my life. Here I am, like 5 years later, and I feel pretty proud of myself. You know, maybe I don't have the ideal body, but I feel good in my body. I love my body. Sure, there are things I want to change about my body, but despite that, I continue to show up for myself out of love, not because I need to change myself appearance-wise for other people. Like anything that I do now, it's for me. And I think that's what pushes me and what makes me want to keep going. So let me shut up now. I've been talking too much. I gotta get to cooking.
So to make the lemon chicken orzo, I've started out by heating up the chicken in some oil, and then I added in the butter and lemon slices just so that the lemon slices could get just a little bit browned. And then I went in that same pan and I cooked the orzo. Then I went in and added the chicken broth, the heavy cream, gave it all a good stir, added limon, my favorite, and then just let the sauce thicken up. Again, I love seeing the sauce thicken up because the entire time when I'm cooking, I swear that I missed a step and that my sauce is not going to thicken up. It's going to be too liquidy, and then it starts thickening up. I'm like, okay, good. Just this takes patience. And then I was slightly nervous because this dish takes fresh spinach, but we did not have any. And so I ended up finding frozen spinach in my client's fridge. So thankfully it all worked out in the end. Just gotta trust the process.
Okay, we are pretty much all done cooking. I'm just letting the noodles sit for a little bit and I'm reheating the chicken on another pan. But this song has been my obsession recently. I have replayed it so many times. I play this every day to work because it's just, I love it. It's the exact vibe I'm looking for. It's Dream Lover by Mariah Carey. I made a whole playlist based off of this. I just did a review of my food and I wasn't recording. Dang it. It's so good though. I was basically saying that the chicken turned out beautifully. Check it out. Stunning. And then I took a bite for the first time, first impression, and this is basically what I did. Basically, the chicken turned out lovely. I love the taste of lemon chicken. It's so good. The first time I ever had lemon chicken was at college. They had it. They literally only cooked it one time the entire time that I was at college, but I got it and it was so good. I fell in love with it, and then they never made it again. And I just love the taste of lemon chicken, and this is so good. The mixture of the lemon, the sour lemon flavor with the creaminess of the pasta, good combo.